November 13th, 2013. Guys, a quick look at the ISON JPL. You notice that today it went inside the orbit of Venus, and it's 6.8 AU, not quite halfway between Earth and the Sun. Now, what their scientists are saying that today it increased in brightness threefold, or 1.3 mag, and you can see it here also on the model. And as it's coming in, they're showing 3 million miles a day. Tomorrow it's showing 2 million miles a day. Now again, that's just the model, but this is where we're at. You see the Earth in the foreground, Venus to the left. So ISON's getting close, guys. And now that it's inside Venus's orbit, we're getting that rapid brightening. I've got a couple of images I want to show you, and that's where it's at. That's what we're looking at. Now we've got other comets. This is the only one that's sun diving. That's why it's getting the attention, guys. October 31st. This was ISON. Bottom is today, November 13th. I tried to match the size of the inner comas there. Then you can see the difference in the brightness of the outer comet. Check that out. And that's what they're talking about as it got in. And again, it's almost 1/2 AU now. It also has developed 3 tails as it's jetting back. The scientists are saying it is in an outburst at visual and radio wavelengths. It has increased brightness threefold today. And I think that's 1.3 mags. So that's fast. They didn't anticipate that. A couple of closer images of it here. It's starting to look the way that Lovejoy is looking, with that bright green front section, but it's so much larger in that long tail. Now that's an update on ISON. Now this is where the video that I've been wanting to do starts, guys, and we're looking at an equalizer. I'm going to try to keep it as basic as I can. Notice 31 to 16K. Below 31, most people are not going to hear it. So I'm just going to stick this slider up here beside it from 0 to 31. Now, they found out years ago the Earth's resonant frequency is in this range at 7.8. You see that? Guys, that's also where alpha waves start for deep prayer and meditation and healing. Now, briefly here, if you don't understand, one cycle on a sine wave or one is what we're looking at. Now, if this chart was 1 second long, you would have 5 cycles per second, or 5 hertz that occupied that second. That's what you'd be looking at. In this chart, you would have 15 full cycles. That would be 15 vibrations per second, or 15 hertz. That's what we're talking about. Just a quick, brief lesson on that. Most of you know it, and I realize that. But we're going to be dealing with this 0 to 31, and I think this is where God talks to our DNA, and that's the whole point of this video. It says the Earth's atmosphere insulates the ground from the upper level magnetopoles, and the sun is where this frequency is coming from, guys. And we have an insulator, our atmosphere, but through lightning, and I'll show you some of the diagrams, this is transmitted to the Earth. This vibration, this frequency, this healing frequency for prayer and meditation has been known for years. 8 to 12 cycles is alpha to beta. But now this occurs in an ELF frequency. Now it's saying compared to estimated natural background level of ELF, now because of modern technology with radio antennas, we are at 100,000 times above the natural level. We're looking at one of the sites here that transmit ELF waves. They're blocking the signal to our DNA. It's not just here, guys. It's through your cell phones. It's through your Wi-Fi, your TV, through your radios. And if you've got, one way you can stop some of it is if you are not using Wi-Fi, if you use a non-Wi-Fi modem. That will eliminate some, but it's in the electrical grid of your house. Here's some of the people that use it. But guys, they use ELF, and you see Clam Lake, Wisconsin, to detect deep water submarines is what they say. But this frequency at 100,000 times of our natural transmissions that come from the sun to the earth is blocking this. It's called the natural rhythm, and it's called the Schumann wave. And they talk about this. It says Dr. Ludwig came across ancient Chinese teachings which state that man needs two environmental signals, the yang and the yin. That's what they're talking about. It says the description fits a relative strong signal of the Schumann wave surrounding our planet being yang and the weaker geomagnetic waves coming from the Earth from within the planet being the yin. The Chinese teachings state that to achieve perfect health, those signals must be in balance. That's what we're talking about, the alpha waves, guys. And so what they did, they built an underground bunker which completely screened out everything. And you can pause that and read it. And they put a test group in there for a couple weeks. Guys, they started having headaches, got sick, got everything, but without exposure to this common 7.8 hertz resonance in the earth. But in the air, it's being blocked. It says that earth is an electric circuit. And any of this you want to pause and read, but it's saying that the resistance of the atmosphere is about 200 ohms. The voltage is 2,000 volts. The potential, there are about 1,000 lightning storms at even given moment worldwide, each producing 0.5 to 1 amp, and thus collectively accounts for the measured current flow in the Earth's uh, core. It's a big electromagnet, guys. Tesla's broadcast tower is what we're looking at. He was the one that discovered the resonant frequency of the Earth. He was trying to find out how deep that his transmissions were going. What he was trying to do here, guys, was transmit electricity without wires. But then it would have been free. I think he ended up getting burnt out and patent stolen and everything else. But this is Tesla. This is a photograph. And in one of his big cyclotrons there, he said it didn't bother him. You see him studying during this event. Now, guys, I put a lot of information if you want to pause it. And these are kind of links in a way, but it talks about Ben Longtree, and he does a lot of geomagnetic field experiments with human psychophysiology out in Sedona, Arizona. And he uses EEG brain waves. And you can go and check out Ben Longtree on YouTube and watch his videos where he electronically measures these frequencies. And they say that Sedona is an area that this occurs in because of the crystal layers beneath it. It's interesting, isn't it? It says it's showing that this frequency is integral to us. It controls our mental and physical health. Now, guys, why would that be being blocked? You can read this. This even goes into talking about if the magnetic field stopped. This resonance stopped and doubled to 13, 2 or 3 days, you would have your magnetic field reversal on Earth. But guys, why we're looking at levels of evil that even the powers that be do not understand as far as the politicians. They think they're the leaders. They're the puppets of the real leaders. And how ancient are these leaders? Do we know? But what's happened? They know at this time, as you can read through this thing, that in these last years, they know the generation. They know the generation of the fig tree and the last generation. Electricity just started, guys, the last 100 years. And the ability in the last 60 years to broadcast every frequency known to man, especially these ELFs. But guys, I'm finding more and more research on the cell phones and the brain damage. And it's causing these small brain vessels to pop. And they've done a lot of experiments on it. We talked about 1200 year, the culling of the human race as it overpopulates and become extremely noisy, guys. Look at those videos. But now, if God had placed, and what I think he's done, if you read through this, a DNA code, a secret, the real Bible code is imprinted in our DNA. And it's the DNA that they called the useless DNA. But what they found out now is that although it doesn't reproduce cells, it actually stores the information that does that. And that code was hidden even from the manipulators that changed the human race thousands and thousands of years ago, that made it a slave race. God had a plan. And how was he going to block this? You need to read this, guys. It starts out The fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given him to scorch men with fire. So what we're talking about, the sun, these solar flares. And read this, guys. Fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat. Here's the key. And his kingdom was full of darkness. They gnawed their tongues for pain. And who's he talking about? This isn't everybody. Read 11, 12, 13. It's those that would not repent. You get it? The leaders of this world and the people, the high elite, whoever the ancient ones are, whoever they are, they think they're above God. When he blocks out this electrical grid with one of these solar flares, whether it's caused by a comet or whatever, he's going to shut down these ELF broadcasts. He's going to be able to talk to our DNA. Our eyes are going to be open. In that twinkle of an eye, you're going to be changed. That's what's going to happen, guys. Now, you've got chemtrails, you've got stuff that everything in the world to block these frequencies. Again, the politicians don't realize what they're doing. They're thinking they're getting toys from these higher elites that will increase technology and increase their bank account. And the higher level is laughing, just like when they gave them nuclear technology, guys. But I'm going to play a short video. I'm not going to talk through it at the end. But they measured the vibration of the sun. They got video and sound. And they've amplified it up into an upper harmonic to where you can hear the vibrations of the sun. This is part one of this. I know it's a lot of information. It was 200 or 300 pages, and I tried to simplify it, guys. But listen to this, the sounds of the sun. Be safe. Getting close, guys. And now that it's inside Venus's orbit, we're getting that rapid brightening. I've got a couple of images I want to show you. And that's where it's at. That's what we're looking at. Now, we've got other comets. This is the only one that's sun diving. That's why it's getting the attention, guys. October 31st, half AU now. It also has developed 3 tails as it's jetting back. The scientists are saying it is in an outburst at visual and radio wavelengths. It has increased brightness 3-fold today. Again, I think that's 1.3 mags. So that's fast. This was ISON. Bottom is today, November 13th. I tried to match the size of the inner comas there. Then you can see the difference in the brightness of the outer comet. Check that out. And that's what they're talking about as it got in. And again, it's almost one half. November 13th, 2013. Guys, a quick look at the ISON JPL. You notice today it went inside the orbit of Venus. And it's 6.8 AU, not quite halfway between Earth and the Sun. Now, what their scientists are saying that today it increased in brightness 3-fold, or 1.3 mag, and you can see it here also in the model. And as it's coming in, they're showing 3 million miles a day. Tomorrow it's showing 2 million miles a day. Now again, that's just the model, but this is where we're at. You see the Earth in the foreground, Venus to the left. So ISON's